Retirement. Are you picturing that freedom, that travel, time with friends and family, new hobbies even, and peace of mind? Or is it a nagging question mark full of what ifs? Too many of us see retirement planning as complicated, stressful, and maybe even a little bit boring. But your future is too important, folks, to leave it to chance. Now, we spoke to our team of expert financial advisors here at Reeves and cut through the jargon to bring you their essential 6 steps to build the retirement you truly want. So let's get started. Now, the advisors were pretty unanimous on the absolute first thing that everybody needs to do. One of them put it perfectly, in fact. He said the biggest barrier is just not knowing what you've actually got. Now, that sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? But it's the foundation of every good retirement plan. You need to know exactly where you stand before you can decide where you're actually going. Now, that means checking your balances, reviewing what's held where, and making sure you understand how each piece fits into your overall puzzle. Our advisors stressed that even if the figures aren't where you'd like them to be, it's always better to know now rather than later, when it might actually be too late. Now, awareness gives you control. It allows you to make smart decisions. You can take action early and you can avoid unpleasant surprises later down the line. So take the time, please, to log into each provider's online portal, or if they don't have that modern access, request a statement. Now, the next step is about dealing with the past. We were reminded that every single pension pot, no matter how small, plays a part in shaping your financial future. As one of our experts put it, if you had a few £1,000 sitting in a savings account, you'd want to know about it, wouldn't you? And you never know what that small pension might have actually grown into. Reconnecting with old or forgotten pensions is a crucial part of building a complete picture of your retirement plan. And over the years, many people, possibly even most people now, I think, changed jobs several times, leaving behind small pots that they might not even remember. Now, those can add up, folks. Tracking them down not only gives you clarity, but it can also unlock opportunities to consolidate and make your money work much harder. Now, if you're struggling to locate those old schemes, the government's free pension tracing service is a great place to start. All you need is the name of your past employer, and it should help you find the provider's contact details. You'll find a link to that in the description down below. Now, once you've gathered the information on all your pensions, it's worth taking the time to understand how they're actually invested. Different pension schemes are usually invested in very different ways, and older arrangements may not always be aligned with your current goals. There might also not be in great investments at all. Now, as one of our team explained, every pension contributes towards retirement, every single one. But without reviewing the investments themselves, you definitely aren't taking real control. What we have access to today in terms of investment funds is worlds apart from even 10 years ago, let alone 20. So most of the time, historic pensions are an opportunity to upgrade in terms of investment potential. Now, one important feature to look out for is what's known as lifestyling, which I might describe as the lazy person's investment strategy. This is where your pension is automatically moved into lower risk, typically lower growth orientated investments as you approach retirement age, or just generally as you get older. That might start from, say, age 50. And by retirement age, and I mean by whatever age you ticked on the forms when you first joined. Now, when I was 30, I was 100% retiring at 55. There was absolutely no doubt about it. Had I ticked the lifestyle option in 30, by 55, I would have had most, if not all, of my pension fund in lower risk investments, which would have limited the potential for growth from that point onwards, and probably from years before. And here I am at 57, definitely not retiring, so I actually still want to be invested in line with my current appetite for risk. Add to the equation that retirement can last 20 years or more, and it's very important to consider the balance between security, of course, and growth in your investments at every single age. If you're wondering if your existing pensions are truly set up properly for today's world and for tomorrow's world, stop guessing, let an expert look under the hood. We're offering you a free, no obligation financial review with our expert team. This is your chance to get a much clearer, personalized assessment of your pension funds, your investment strategy, and what is really possible for your retirement retirement. So if you want, click the link below right now, claim your free review, and why don't you start planning the retirement you really, really want. One of the biggest questions in retirement planning is how much money will you actually need to live the life you want? Now, there's no single right answer to that, of course, because everybody's different. You'll have different circumstances, different priorities, and your lifestyle choices are going to be different both now and in the future. But a useful starting point is to think about the kind of retirement you picture for yourself. Do you imagine keeping things really simple and comfortable, or do you want more flexibility, more excitement, things like holidays and massive hobbies, things you've never done before? Now, to help with this, you might want to look at the Retirement Living Standards, which is published by the Pensions and Lifetime Savings Association. These give examples of what different types of retirement might look like and how much money you're going to need. From a minimum lifestyle, covering the essentials, through to a moderate lifestyle, and also comfortable levels that allow much more choice and flexibility. It's also worth keeping in mind that some costs may well fall away when you retire. You might commute less, you might travel more, of course, which will negate that, but you know what I'm saying. Now, whilst others might actually increase, you might do a lot more with your leisure activities, you might need some more healthcare, you might want to give some money to your children or your grandchildren. So life will change. Now, you may decide to plan for less income in the much later years of retirement, and that might give you the opportunity to have more income in the earlier years, and that's a typical choice we see lots of people making. Or, of course, you might want to make sure you've just got a steady income throughout. Now, these numbers will be very personal to you, which is why having even a rough idea of your own target income is really helpful when you create and subsequently review your retirement plan. The next step is to consider whether your current savings and pensions could actually support that lifestyle. It's really important to remember that everybody's situation is different, and there's no guarantee that any particular approach will achieve a specific outcome. You can, however, explore the possibilities using general tools and planning concepts. For example, some people use rough rules of thumb, like dividing a target annual income by 4% to get a very broad estimate of the pot size that might be needed. Now, these figures are highly simplified, and personally I don't like them very much. They should only be treated as indicative. A more reliable way to explore your options is through a scenario where you use cash flow modelling. This is what we do here at Reeves, and it involves looking at how your savings might perform under different conditions, such as market fluctuations, periods of higher inflation, or changes in your spending habits. Considering a range of scenarios will definitely help you understand potential risks and give you a clearer picture of what could be required to maintain the income levels you want to plan for. You can actually do it yourselves on a spreadsheet using Excel if you want to. Other spreadsheet platforms are available, but it's very complicated, it's very easy to get it wrong, and my advice is get advice. Of course it would be, wouldn't it? Finally, this is often a forgotten step. One of our advisors described the importance of the expression of a wish form perfectly, and this is what she said. This is essentially a will for your pension. It states explicitly who you would like to receive your pension, and the beneficiaries don't need to wait for the will to be executed. Now, if you don't have a will, it can take months to process an estate, whereas the expression of a wish can bypass that process completely and get the money to those you list far more quickly. Now, as your pension trustees rely on this document to pay out your benefits quickly and according to your wishes, our experts definitely recommend requesting this form directly from your pension providers or your financial advisor if you haven't done one already. Now, the absolute key takeaway here, I think, is to review the letter of wishes whenever there is a significant family event, a marriage, a divorce, a birth, a lottery win, and update it immediately if necessary. Your life will change, folks, and your financial planning needs to change with it, especially in this world of blended families where complicated wills are pretty standard now. Now, we've talked through the 6 critical steps for securing your best retirement, but let me ask you this. Do you truly know what your money is doing right now? Did you find an old pension pot? Are you surprised by how long your savings might actually need to last? Did the talk of lifestyling or cash flow modelling make you realize you need a professional eye on your strategy? Your financial confidence is built one step at a time, and the goal isn't just to retire, it's to retire well. Now that you know what you should do, you also need to know what you should not do. The path to a secure retirement is full of common, costly errors that can derail even the best plans, believe me. So in our next video, we're going going to break down the most crucial lessons our experts have learned. We're going to share the things they wish they could tell every client years earlier. And you need to know these. Don't make a mistake that could cost you years and years of your financial freedom. So watch this next. We're going to dive into the 3 big retirement regrets you could absolutely avoid. So click here. Oh, I'll see you there.